All right, howdy, y'all. Uh, I'm going to get all my screens going here. Um, I know everybody's super busy. We're working on projects, and it's Christmas time or holiday time. Some people working Hanukkah things and some other holidays. For me, I'm working on a lot of Christmas orders. I got a show tomorrow, but I really wanted to get Josh Evans in here. You can see him. He's even hustling and working. He's getting a patch that he's going to show us. Keep on working, man. I'll introduce you here. Um, so I wanted to really get him some time with us, these two groups. Those of you in the Laser Lounge, you know, I talk about LoneStar Adhesive a lot. He's one of our page sponsors. So we've got several page sponsors. We've got Thunder Laser USA, Rotoboss Rotary Attachments, now LoneStar Adhesive, and also Odie's Oil. And so I wanted to give kind of some shout out to our sponsors over the next couple of weeks because one, they've been killing themselves getting products ready for us to use, but also give some insight into what they do. And so Josh is first out of the chute. So Josh has got us a nice shop, which I think he needs to expand it soon in North Houston. Is it Dayton, right? Dayton?
East, yeah, Northeast Houston.
Northeast Houston. And a little background on him. He has his own business, Lone Star Adhesive, and he makes, in my opinion, one of the best hat patch adhesives around that I've used. I stumbled onto him, I guess, a couple of years ago when I was trying to do my hat patches with, gosh, leather cement glue and a couple other things, and ran across his product. And now he's got his own full-fledged company, Lone Star Adhesive. So Josh, you know, I know you got that bolt back there that's a new thing to you, and you're going to show us a new product tonight, but tell us how things are going in your shop right now.
Let me turn this compressor off real quick.
Sure.
Man, I tell you, everything is going amazing, and it has to do with all of our customers. They are absolutely amazing. We have grown a lot over the past. We've been in business since July, so we have grown a lot since then. And I tell you, it's like a big family for us. Everybody's awesome. We always chatting back and forth in our Facebook group, and everybody's just amazing to work with. And everybody's real. I mean, we're family oriented. We got a family ourselves, and everybody's real patient with us. If say an order takes maybe a day longer than it's supposed to get out, everybody's real patient with helping us out with that. So.
Yeah, I know. You know, we all sometimes struggle with the demands of everybody wanting stuff, right? So here we are in my position, primarily working in with the end customer, and you're, you know, a supplier to us. So we also have to be aware, you know, the demands we're putting on y'all, and this has got to be a crazy time for you. So go ahead if you're going to say something.
No, you're good. You're good. Keep going.
Okay. So I know for you personally, I order the duets. So you have your
Yes.
adhesive already on the back. I also order the leatherette. I have my own leather, so I typically will buy just the adhesive sheets and iron that on. What else do you have coming out of your shop that maybe I'm not aware of or that's hot and up and coming?
So we got the branding iron hat press. That started on pre-order. That is a great alternative to the only other hat press on the market at half the price. We've had some great feedback on that. We should be getting the first 100 in hopefully mid-December. I talked to the manufacturer a couple of days ago. They're shipping the first 100 by air, so we should have them. We're gonna they check them out, but we're going to go ahead. We're going to get them unboxed, plug them up, make sure they work properly, and then we're going to we'll put our decals on them and we'll ship them out. So
Very awesome. I'm
those are really
excited to
nice.
get a hold of one and test one out against the IQ.
Oh, I think I want to see a lot of people do comparisons on them and see. I think they're really going to be impressed with them. From what I've seen, they don't give as much of a top seam that kind of where it kind of the heat actually makes a kind of a I don't know. It's kind of weird, but like when these hats from the factory, they're more rounded, but like the way this bottom platen is, it kind of matches it down a little bit. So it's going to give it more of a rounded the way that silicone is on the bottom. These presses are going to heat up a lot faster. It takes like 5 to 7 minutes, if that, for these presses to heat up. I know the IQs take a long time to heat up.
Yeah.
And we're going to cover warranty on them. We're going to cover. I mean, you if you have an issue with one, you give us a call. We're going to knock it out. I mean, if we can't get you up and running within an hour, we're going to send you a label, get it boxed up, and we'll ship you a new one. So
That's good. I know there's a question in the group on where somebody can get more info on the hat press.
Okay. Yeah, right there in our Facebook group itself, or you can reach out to me directly, and I'll be more than
Okay.
happy to help you with that.
So
So
you took a run of like 50, and then that's like a pre-order run, and then y'all are
yeah,
gonna get more. Okay.
so we did the first pre-order for 50, and then we got shipping on another 50. So we're opening the pre-order up again. Those should be they may even ship out before Christmas as well. It just depends on how fast we're able to get 50 presses unboxed, tested, reboxed, and shipped out. So we just want to make sure, since we're covering a 2-year warranty on them, we just want to make sure that they work properly before they leave our shop, and they're good to go.
Totally
So
understand that. That's
yeah,
how a good business should be run. So
yeah.
let's talk about patches. I know in the last, gosh, it feels like a month, the duets and Romark, those have just been like the hot thing. It just
Oh,
kind of went crazy.
no, it did. I mean, we sold Romark out of copper acrylic, and they had some sheets that they had the base layer, but they didn't have any color on top, and they actually swapped them all over to copper, and were able to get them shipped out to us pretty quick. They actually changed their whole logistics to be able to actually, because Johnson Plastic is owned by Romark, so they sell the Romark out of their store in Carrollton here in Texas, and
Oh, okay.
they actually completely change their logistics up just to be able to take care of us. So if we get close to running out of stock, if we order, but I think before 3 o'clock, they can have it here next day. So,
Oh man, that's awesome.
so
That's
yeah,
almost as good as what you do, man. I've ordered
it,
from you and it's there the next day.
no, yeah, and that's I love I got a sales rep, and he's amazing. I've had to overnight some stuff just because we've been in a pinch because our shop just isn't big enough to be able to lay everything out. So there's stuff in our garage that we have in boxes, and it's just so hard to keep up with. So in 2024, that's what we're gonna have a big shop. We're gonna have everything laid out to where we know exactly what we have and when we need to order, and that's the struggle right now. It's just is growing.
Yeah.
So.
Your optimization in your production area. That's a good pain point to have as a small business, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, and hiring people. It's tough to hire people, but we need a couple more hands on decks to
Yeah.
just be able to get the adhesive on the leatherette, get the adhesive on the leather, get the panels cut out. I mean, there's so many other things. My Trotec right now is the tube went bad in it, so I'm waiting for that to come back. So I'm running every patch order on the bolt right now, so it's taking a
Yeah.
little bit longer than expected. So it's just a struggle of a business owner, I guess.
No, I hear you, and that's something that we as buyers need to be a little bit try to plan ahead ourselves as well, right? And
Yes, yeah.
because you need to get some sleep too, I'm sure that it's short hours there.
No, we usually get out in the shop about 8 o'clock, and we spend time usually in the evening with our boys, and then we put them down, and we're usually back out in the shop, and we usually work till 11, 12. We've worked till 3 o'clock in the morning before, just to try to get orders out, just to stay caught up.
Oh
I think it
man.
was after Lightburn was amazing. I loved it. I mean, it was so nice to meet everybody, but it I feel like we haven't been able to catch up since Lightburn.
No,
So.
I hear you. So, you get a lot of calls and you're so gracious to take those and listen to what, the heartbeat of the makers and what's going on. What do you see as most of the support calls happening? What are most people not doing right? Why do they call?
I think a lot of it's just pressure and heat. And I tell you, we've had a big thing about foam and no foam,
Yeah, I've
and
seen that.
that's been a question that's asked every day, 10 times a day. And so I can go over that real quick. The foam is for hats. It's going to be a little bit thicker. It's not going to show your center line on your patch like the thin stuff will. The no foam is for some type of clothing or beanies, something that's going to move around a lot, something that may be washed, stuff like that. Um, we are working on a premium line, and we are going to be the only manufacturer of this stuff. And so I got with the manufacturer. I said, look, there's not a big problem with it, but there's maybe a 1% fail rate or whatever with the leatherette. I want there to be a 0% fail rate. And so, I mean, we got a great adhesive. I want a great leatherette to be able to combine with that just to have an amazing product. And so the leatherette that we're offering now, or it should be here next week. I got shipping notification, should be here next week. It's a millimeter and a half thick. Instead of a spray glue between the two layers to make it thicker, it's actually a film adhesive. So a solid contact, solid bond. And AJ Dennison in our Facebook group, he's awesome with testing out stuff. And he actually heat pressed one to a beanie and was able to wash it and dry it, and no separation, no nothing. So
Oh,
we're,
very
we're
nice.
we're excited about that. I mean, it's some an amazing stuff, and I think it's going to be the new stuff on the market. So
That's good to hear. Someone commented here. I have it. They're so excited for the premium line. I noticed you mentioned a couple people, just so that we out here kind of are familiar with who's who in the Whoville. Who all's on your staff, so that we kind of know, like if we're looking for something that's just, we don't just call you all the time. If we need to call AJ or whoever, like who's
so
there? Because I've seen
so
people posting.
So AJ's he's a member. I've known him since I was with Heidbon. He's an amazing dude. He is more than willing to help. I mean, and that's a lot of our group. I mean, everybody's just amazing in our group. It's like, and just like the Laser Lounge, everybody's so nice and so willing to lend a hand. There's enough business for everybody out there. And if you have that mentality, that oh, they're taking my business, this may not be the business for you. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many small towns. There's so many businesses in those towns. I mean, we're not even tapping into. I mean, I wouldn't even say half of the businesses out there. I mean, there's so much. But
Yep.
we have Sam, which is my sister-in-law. She does our social media stuff.
Okay.
She shares the products on Instagram and Facebook on our story. If anybody has a question, she likes to do a lot of. She'll tag people in comments or in videos of different things. Patrick Moore is a big guy in the Dio community, and
Okay.
he's part of the team. I'm going to actually have him start doing a lot of videos for us. So I mean, there's just we got Zach Portnoy. He's going to be the one that's helping me with a lot of the tech support and just the general phone calls about the hat presses. So
Okay.
once that stuff comes out, once everybody starts getting their hat presses, I'll start kind of getting everybody his information so we can kind of go back and forth and troubleshoot, because I mean, I get it. I've been, in a pinch, and you can't get a hold of anybody, and
Yeah.
you just need one answer, and it's pain. And that's what we try to make sure that we have multiple avenues for you to be able to get a hold of us, so you can get your order answered, or your question answered, or get your order. If you need it next day, let us know. Reach out to us, and we'll jump through hoops to try to make that happen. We don't want anybody to not meet a deadline or lose a customer. So,
No, I
uh,
appreciate that. And I'm being cautious on time because I said I would keep it short. If you have not entered for the free giveaway that Josh and I are going to do, you might want to get on in there. If you look at the announcement that we had for the event announcement at the bottom, it has a little form to fill out. If you do it real quick, we're going to be spinning in about 5 minutes. Josh is going to give out some goodies, and I'm going to give out this Snoop on the Stoop, which is pretty cool. So you'll get some goodies for tonight. Um, so what's coming new besides the hat press? Is there anything that you're seeing coming on the horizon with patches in general and the adhesive
so,
for them?
so I think the big thing is the hat press. That's going to be. I mean, you can get two of our hat presses for the price of our competitors. And I tell you, if you're doing a 50 hat order, having two presses there, you can knock 50 hats out in less than 30 minutes, and that is amazing. And the good thing about that is you set them off to the side. You don't have to worry about them again. Once you press them, they're done. And I mean, I would do some, and I throw them in the bag while they're still warm. I don't have to worry about picking at it after it cools down, just to make sure it's not going to come off, because I know I got that bottom heat, I got that top heat, and that
Yeah.
thing, it's ready to go. So I tell you, I got with a guy by the name of Sean Snyder. He's out in Las Vegas. He reached out to me. He's got a sewing machine, and we're working on getting a couple different pieces of equipment to kind of speed up the process. And I released it on the kind of see about drumming up interest in it on our Facebook page. But these are going to be these are actually real leather, and they're sewn patches, and you can engrave on them, and you can heat press them directly to a hat. And
That's going
so
to be awesome.
that's going to be the new thing. So it's going to be similar to what the leatherette is right now with the faux patches. I know there's actually a big market in that. So we're actually going to I talked to Sean, and he wanted to do some of those. I said, let's wait for the premium stuff to come out. It's going to look a little bit nicer. It's going to set off the hat a little bit better. And it's just going to take a needle and thread a lot better. So that's something where we're probably going to roll it out with the rawhide. Rawhide is our biggest seller. Rawhide, dark brown, light brown, gray to black, black to silver, stuff like that. And we're just going to give a couple options right now, kind of see what everybody wants, and then we'll start kind of incorporating a lot of that other stuff in there. So,
That's
but I
good.
think
I'm getting a shipment from you today. UPS is coming. I hope I
yes,
have some of those patches in there.
yeah, and actually, Sean. So this one, so our adhesive, I don't know if y'all knew, but our adhesive works really good with Velcro. So this is actually a Velcro patch where he actually stitched the Velcro on the one side, and then on the other side, our adhesive is on it. So I
Okay,
mean
that's
that
what I'm
that
wanting right there.
yeah, so that opens the window for a ton of stuff. I mean, you're talking about a lot of military people like the patches. You can put these on bags and different any type of hook and loop application, and I think the possibilities are endless. So
Yes,
I
those
you,
are
you
going to
can
be, people are going to want those for sure.
yeah, I mean you can buy one hat and buy 5 patches, and you got 5 hats pretty much. So
Yeah,
I think
I'm
that's
super
a pretty cool
excited about
option.
that.
Yeah.
That's going to be
So
good. Now, you also sell hat blanks too, right? Am I wrong on that? Or
we do. It's we sell Heather Grand White, Heather Grand Black, Loading in Black, Charcoal and Black, all black, black to charcoal, and charcoal to white. So we have a few, and khaki to white. We have a few options there. I just wanted to be able to kind of provide. Let's say if you're instead of you having to go to S&S and buy your hats and you're buying your adhesive from me, you could just buy if you wanted the popular hats, you could buy them in one spot and we could just ship them out for you.
yeah,
So,
cut down
uh,
on those shipping rates. That's a good deal. I mean,
yeah,
it looks like you're trying to get to where your business is kind of a one-stop shop for whatever you would need for hats.
yeah, and I'm just trying to because I was a hat maker, so I'm trying to think as a hat maker, and I kind of like to go that direction on what I like and what I don't like, and I like to get a lot of input from our group.
Yeah.
That is our biggest. When we come out with a new color or anything like that, I want everybody to be together and get this idea together so we can kind of bring it to our manufacturers or just kind of make it happen. That's
Yeah,
what we
so that's a good idea. Those that are listening tonight, we got like 60 so are on. Type in the comments, like if you're interested in the interchangeable idea, because I'm sure they're just beta testing now to seeing what the users like. Let them know that yeah, that's something that your audience would be interested in, and they can probably put some full press on that. So let us
Oh yeah,
know
and
on.
yeah, and all you got to do is take the backing off. It's already got the adhesive on it. All you got to do is press this little back on the hat, and you're good to go. And so that's the piece that you'll press on the hat, and then you got your patch here that's sewn, and it's got the stitching on there if you can see that. And so you just
Yep.
engrave on that. We're also going to we're going to have the actual dimensions of this so you can actually make you a jig so it'll make it easier to center your stuff up. So, which
Okay,
will be
that's
really
nice.
nice. So, because I know that's sometimes the hardest part is just centering your logo up and seeing how big you need it. But we're going to offer quite a few. We got a couple. We got a hexagon. We got a square. A we got an oval. So there's a couple different options. Here's our hexagons. We're going to
Oh,
kind of
nice.
offer them in a couple different sizes, and these are all clicker pressed. They're not lasered out, so it's going to have the same color edge as the leather itself. This is our jersey tan, and then yeah, these are both our jersey tan, and then we got our limousine brown in there too. And those engrave so nice. You put a little resin on top, and they're sealed and they're ready to rock and roll. So
I'm gonna ask a couple more questions and then I'm gonna wrap us up to be respectful of your time specifically, but others. This question I have up on here, you always hear about the Yopong versus Richardson, and it seems like it's kind of like, camps, right? Ford and Dodge.
it
What are
is.
you seeing? Like, what do you carry? Are you going to carry both or?
Man, I'll be quite honest with you. I love Yupongs. They are by far a superior hat, and from what I've heard from a lot of people, Yupong makes Richardson. They're a little bit cheaper. They're more cost effective, and to me, they're just an all around good hat. Most of my this is a Yupong. This is a it's like a heather gray charcoal with a charcoal back, and I just love these hats. They seem to fit my head better, but it's really hard to convince somebody because Richardson has such a strong name in the hat industry. So
Yeah.
it's just really hard to kind of change people's perspective on that. And that's where a free hat comes in. Say, hey, what do you think about Yupong? Well, I don't know about Yupong. Well, let me make you a hat and let me see what you think. And I mean, I've never had one fail. I've never had an issue. To me, when I'm pressing them, the center line always seems to be straighter. I have a lot of trouble with Richardson. The front of these caps are always a little bit softer, which is nice. They're still structured, but they're a little bit softer. and sometimes those Richardsons are a little bit stiffer, and you do get some kind of some heat marks in there
Yeah.
just because they're so stiff. So
I
um,
need to try some out. I haven't had any in my shop, but just because of the thing that you just said, everybody seems to request Richardson. But I
yeah,
know there's a thing like depending on head size, some guys that have, is it a smaller or larger head? They like one size over the other.
man, I honestly don't know. I don't have. You can ask Chance Axelson from Custom Grains. I think he's got a pretty big
Well,
head.
awesome. Well, listen, I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna do one more sync of the survey here. I'm gonna grab these names. I'm at 94 names here, so let me get them and I'm gonna throw them over in the spinner. Give me 1 second.
Hey, Lisa,
Anything else you want to tell us while
hey,
I'm doing this?
I want to ask you about that Odin. How you like that Odin?
I'm telling you, man, I've been so impressed with this thing. It's what I'm primarily using in my shop right now for most of my jobs, just because of the speed is just
Yes. Well,
it's
and that's why
phenomenal.
this Nova 24, even when my not Nova 24, this little Odin, no
The bolt,
Thunderbolt, the Bolt, man, I tell you, it is an amazing machine. I run it 1,000 millimeters per second, 20 and a half on the power, and it kills everything out there. I mean, these patches come out amazing. I mean, that is 1,000 millimeters per second, 20 and a half power.
and I think why I'm liking it so much is, and as a cat comes up here, is the RF tube, the size, the dot size, and a lot of people I don't
Yeah,
think understand this. The dot size on a RF CO2 tube versus a CO2 glass tube is a lot smaller. So you're
yeah,
going to get a finer detail and you really can notice it. I'll tell you an example. We do a lot of things, awards for Folds of Honor. I'd been doing these awards on the Nova line and it was fine, but the font, it was kind of like I told James, don't clean too rough or you're going to break the edges off. But when we
exactly.
did it on the Odin, he noticed it. He was like, "Wow, it looks so much smaller only because of the dot size was taking up
Yeah,
that much space." So
yeah.
the clarity is almost it's I would say the Odin and my UV quality wise are just
Oh yeah.
phenomenal.
No, I love it, and when I talk to everybody, the only thing is a smaller bed. I wish they had somewhere between the Odin and the Bolt size. I think that
Yeah.
would be great, but I'm probably when we move into the new shop, I'll probably think about getting another Odin or buying an Odin.
I
Uh,
tell you, and then I'll get to the deal, but if I put a job in for the Nova 35, which is a 100-watt tube, my normal settings, it might say 9 minutes. And if I go and just change the controller to the Odin, it's like 2 minutes and 30 seconds. So time savings on top of
it is,
quality is
yeah.
just unbelievable. Okay, let me
Well,
share. Tell us what you're going to give away tonight to this lucky winner.
I'm gonna give a multi pack out, and pretty much one of everything we offer. So we're gonna do a little bit of everything in there.
That's awesome. Let me shuffle this baby around. And I'm going to give, again, in the box, a brand new Snoop on the Stoop. This will be kind of cool. I have this usually sitting around my laser light. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to shuffle one more time. And then I'm going to say,
Turn this to the
let's
side.
see where it is to.
I've been half screen the whole time. I didn't know I could turn my phone and it flipped full screen.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Here's tonight's winner. Oh, Corey Pendergraft. I know
I,
Amber was like, oh, it's almost me. But it wasn't. It's Corey. Congrats, Corey. All right, guys. Thanks for
but
joining in tonight. We had 58 people. See y'all in the groups. If you don't know about both groups, there's the Laser Lounge. Come and join. We got a lot of great active members in there. And then tell us about your group, Josh.
it's the LoneStar Adhesive official group, and I tell you, everybody is warm and they're welcoming. And if you got any questions about uh, uh, hat patches, beanie patches, stuff like that, we got a lot of tutorials for diodes. A lot of people have questions about will my 5 or 10 watt diode cut through acrylic, and so we got a lot of videos on that. Just a lot of information in there, and it's really good. Use the search button, find what you need, and rock and roll. And
And
if you need me or need somebody else, we're more than happy to help you.
fabulous. And thank you again for sponsoring our Laser Lounge page and
Yes, ma'am.
myself at Pate Ranch. We appreciate all the things
Oh yeah.
that we're working on together. And you got a great product, and we don't have any sponsors that I don't respect or don't believe in. So yours
Oh
is
yeah.
one of them.
Yes. Thank
Thank
you.
you guys. Y'all have a wonderful night, and we'll see y'all later next time.
Thank you. Have a good one.